This week I am doing a little week in my life of ultra training type vlog, so doing something a little different. I woke up this morning, I don't have a meeting, so that's why I look like this. Normally I look a little more presentable for my work from home gig, and right now I'm just making coffee and breakfast. It is kind of interesting that I decided to film this week because I just got off the waitlist for the Leadville Heavy Half, which I'm very nervous to commit to, but I think I'm going to do it. I have a 16-mile long run scheduled this weekend anyway, and so the Leadville Heavy Half is just a really intense version of that. It's 15.4 miles with 3,400 feet of gain. Most of the course is above 10,000 feet, and the high point's 13.1. So it's definitely going to be the hardest run I've done so far in my 50K training, but my friend's running the full, and I'm around this weekend, so I think I'm just going to send it. This is super exciting footage of me working my computer job, which luckily I get to do from home and sometimes don't have to look presentable, which is great for lazy mornings. I thrive on sleeping in, and I found that this works really well for me. It also allows me the flexibility to go on runs during what would typically be the middle of the workday, which I have found to be instrumental in my ultra training. I realize I'm super lucky to be able to do this, but I also very intentionally set my life up this way over the period of a long time and a lot of trial and tribulation. So it's definitely been a very intentional move on my part. Getting ready to go and actually co-host a Backpacker Radio podcast today. Chance is out of town, so I'm going to be helping Zach out with the interview, which means I'm going to go drive to Golden, and I'm leaning more and more towards actually doing this heavy half in Leadville this weekend. I'm so nervous. It's gonna kick my ass for sure. I had to take any video whatsoever while I was recording the podcast, but it went well. Super interesting topic with Dr. Courtney Conley about foot and feet and gait health. So running gait and things like that through hiking. Very important stuff to be able to take care of your feet. Back to day 2 of a week in my life of ultra training. This morning I did a little bit of computer work, and now I'm just kind of waiting on some more info from some clients. So I'm gonna go for a run before I go into my bartending job tonight. Got about an hour, I could squeeze in 5 miles. So gonna go do that really quickly. Do a quick little running outfit of the day. But I've got my Under Armour hat, which I love because it lets my ponytail breathe. This Athleta tank. Normally I wear a sun hoodie when I'm running to protect my skin from the sun, but I'm only gonna be out for 50 minutes today, and I'm gonna slather up sunscreen, and it's gonna be kind of warm, so I want my skin to breathe. I've got these shorts from Belief that I've had for ages, some Under Armour socks, and my Scarpa Golden Gate ATX 2s with a nice wide toe box, and then my Solomon AUV Skin 12 vest, which I'm going to fill with water and snacks. So I've got my GPS oriented. I always like to make sure it's synced before I start a workout. Make sure my readings are accurate. I'm gonna do my normal 5-mile loop. Hopefully the trees back here are cleared. Usually gives me 500 or 600 feet of gain, which is perfect. This is the extended uphill part that I can't always run the whole way. We're gonna try it today. Run at least most of it. There's some steeper parts that we'll see. Well, I didn't run all of it, but I ran a lot of it. I keep waffling between being super excited for Saturday and super scared. I'm walking on this run I'm doing right now that's 5 miles and 600 feet of gain. If you triple that, that's 1,800, which is half the gain that Saturday's gonna be. Look at this awesome trail work. This was all, I had to jump over all of these last time I was here. We're on the downhill portion now, which is pretty sweet. And it's funny, going uphill, I'm like, there's no way I can do this, like for 15 miles. And then coming downhill, I'm like, I can do this. That is a wrap on today's 5-mile run. If I have time before work, I'm gonna try and do some of my knee PT and core, because I'm not sure how much strength training I'll get in this week, so gotta squeeze it in where I can. Love that view. Gosh, I'm blessed. I didn't realize it was like already 12:10 when I got back from my run, so I need to shower and get ready for work, and hopefully do knee PT and core tonight after my shift. I'm like already late for my shift, but I need to brush my hair before I go in there. And hopefully it's chill right now because it's a Tuesday, but it's a nice day, which means people are probably drinking beer, so we'll see. I just got home from work and there was trivia at the bar I bartend at tonight, and sometimes we play as bartenders. If it's slow enough, we usually miss like half the questions because we're busy, but we got 3rd place tonight, so pretty proud of that. This morning I am going on a volunteer wilderness ranger hike with my friend Krista. We are both patrolling this morning. We volunteer for the Eagle Summit Wilderness Alliance, and part of our responsibilities are doing patrol hikes. So we are headed to Acorn Creek this morning. Our hike was about 5 miles with 1,600 feet of gain, and we got to see lots of beautiful wildflowers and amazing views of the Gore Range. Part of our responsibilities is basically just talking to people, making sure they're aware of the wilderness rules, helping them out if they need it, and just generally being a presence on the trails. I also adopted this trailhead, so I also cleaned up some trash while I was there. 2 bags of trash in here. Successful trailhead cleanup and patrol hike. How'd it go, Krista?
It went really well.
Lots of good wildflowers.
Good wildflowers, good conversations.
Sweet. I misplaced my vlogging camera at some point during this day, so I'm going to fill in the gaps with a little bit of a voiceover. Basically, I went to lunch with some CDT hikers who happened to be passing through near where I live, and I went down to Denver to go see Noah Kahan with my friend Emily, and it was an absolute blast. I had so much fun. I'm so glad that she had an extra ticket, and it was overall just a phenomenal show. Back to the mountains after Noah last night. I went to my favorite coffee shop this morning in Denver, so that was super fun. Have a nice coffee and a breakfast burrito to get me back. When I got back to the mountains, I ended up taking the CDT hikers I went to lunch with the day before back to trail and sent them on their way. I ended up taking like a 2-hour nap today. And not getting much work done, unfortunately, but I'm feeling better now. I think I needed it, and I'm about to go for my 5-mile run and then go play volleyball tonight. I really procrastinated my run today, and since I'm nervous about the heavy half on Saturday, I'm doing a flat run to try and like save my legs as much as possible, and yeah, we'll see if that works. About 2 miles in, 20 minutes. Kind of feel like poop, but I expected that. I'm 3 miles in. I've turned around at this point. There's so much pollen flying through the air. I just like inhaled one, like a puffball earlier. I've inhaled bugs, but never a puffball. I ended up getting a phone call from my friend Stickers, so I didn't do a very good job of vlogging the rest of my run, but after I was finished, I drove over to volleyball, and then it started downpouring rain. Finished my run, and then it started downpouring, so volleyball got canceled tonight. Would have had rec volleyball, but no more. So now we're going to a brewery to hang with the team, and I need to eat dinner. After dinner, my friend Carly came up to stay with us overnight so we could hang out before she leaves to start hiking the Colorado Trail next week. And since we were both pretty sore from all of our training that we've been doing, we decided to try out this massage gun that Bob and Brad sent me. You can see me opening up this awesome little carrier case that it comes with and pulling out the charger and everything. The massage gun comes with multiple different attachments that you can use for different purposes. It also comes with like an instruction manual that tells you like what to use for which purpose and how to best use it to help your muscles recover and everything. This company was actually started by physical therapists, so I really love that it has science behind it, and also it just feels really good on sore muscles. I've been using this the day after a lot of my training runs to just kind of relieve sore muscle tension. If you want to get one for yourself, there's a link in the description of this video along with a code for 10% off, and I definitely recommend it if you do any sort of activities that lead to frequent sore muscles or even just tight muscles. This thing is a luxurious game changer. I'm here with Carly this morning. We're doing some CT prep for her. Just gave her a new compactor bag. We're gonna play with the Garmin in a second. Just had breakfast. And then probably gonna go for a walk. Press OK. Let's check in the mail. Carly and I ended up going for a lovely walk, which felt good to do before the heavy half. I didn't want to run or anything. I wanted to give my legs a rest, and we saw some beautiful columbines before I had to start getting ready to go to Leadville. Josh and I ran to the post office before we went out to Leadville for the race tomorrow, and I got my delivery of my prescription sunnies and glasses, and these are one of the new pairs. I'm still kind of fiddling with them to make sure like I can actually see in them, because it's like prescription underneath, but yeah, you can see the little glasses insert. So I'm trying to make them fit right so that I can actually see well with them, but they're a lot of fun. We're just waiting for Shotgun and Hammer to show up. Shotgun is kindly, and her friend is kindly letting us stay at her place for the race this weekend. And so we're just kind of on the backside of Leadville. We ended up picking up a CDT hiker on the way, so we got to give a hitch to Tennessee Pass. We ended up going into Leadville for packet pickup, and honestly, this is one of my favorite parts of races, I think, is just all the hype that is involved with everything leading up to the race itself. After packet pickup, we went to the store and cooked a huge carb-loaded feast for Shotgun and I's race in the morning, and we also actually ended up picking up another thru hiker in town and invited him to join for dinner as well. It was delicious and definitely felt like good race prep.
Start to your race be a Shotgun?
I guess. I wish Shotgun and I were running the same race, but she's faster than me, so.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
Actually, I might see her. She might. I bet she'll be coming down when I'm going up.
She's slowing down. It's hard for her to eat this little last bit.
It's half the burrito.
Yeah, I know.
Once we got to the start line, I did some warm-ups and some dynamic stretching.
That'll be a good,
and made some tweaks to my first aid kit, and then it was time to line up. At this point, I was actually feeling a lot less nervous. I was kind of just thinking, it's just another long run. I was supposed to be doing this today anyway, and now I have a bunch of cheerleaders, which is awesome.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The first part of the heavy half is on pavement, just running out of town basically. It's not very long and it's a steady uphill the entire way. Then you move on to dirt road, and as you can see, it's gorgeous. This is me coming through the first aid station, or right before it, where Josh and Caroline and Napoleon came to cheer me on, which was awesome. It was a great little boost for the first 4 miles of the race. Here is where it started to get a little bit steeper and kind of wet. This is all on a 4x4 road, so it was pretty rocky in parts. There were still definitely luckily some runnable parts, at least for this section, which I was grateful for. Soon it got really steep though, and I definitely hiked like a solid 2 miles before reaching Mosquito Pass, as did almost everyone that I saw. Approaching 13,000 feet was no joke, and it was kind of fun to see all of the people who had turned around already coming back down, so it gave me hope to keep powering through. I also felt like I definitely put myself in the correct pace group because not that many people were passing me, maybe a few who were hiking a little faster than I was, but for the most part, I felt like I was in the right spot. Here's the last little bit of a push before the top, and here is Mosquito Pass, where there was also an aid station, which was incredible. I didn't take very long at the top. I just refilled my water, grabbed a snack, and turned around to start running downhill, and the downhill felt amazing. I think maybe just in comparison to the slog going up the pass, I felt like I was absolutely flying, even with it being kind of rocky. This is me coming through the cheering section right before the last aid station, and then this is me just barreling downhill going into town. I didn't realize it, but I looked at my watch at one point and saw like an 8-minute mile pace, and I figured I only had a few miles left, so if I could maintain it, why not try? And I ended up actually running a 7:40 mile my last mile, so that was pretty crazy.
Good job, Saucy! Oh my gosh, you did it!
After the race, we cooled down and then of course went to grab some beers. I didn't really feel that much like drinking, so I gave one of my free ones away, had my free meal, and then when we went to the bar, I had basically just water and a Bud Light. We hung out for a little bit until it was time for the podium ceremony. Shotgun really wanted to watch to see if she earned a lottery coin into the Leadville 100. Unfortunately, she did not pull any of the lottery coins, but maybe next year. Overall, I had a ton of fun and learned a lot in my first big trail race, and I can't wait to do it again. There's no better way to recover from a long trail run than a long day on the river. On Sunday, we went rafting and fishing on the Colorado, which was, and always is, a blast. I caught a few fish, but mostly just got videos of Caroline's catches. I'm still learning to row, so I was kind of useless at that and mostly just fished. We stopped about halfway through our float for a nice little spread, had some brats, some fruit, some beers, and a good time.
How's the float going?
Good. Row's trip, it's great.
I've been rowing him into plenty of fish.
He has. It's been a teamwork effort.
Let's go.
You rowed the majority of the day.
Wait, you rowed me into fish.
I rode a little bit.
You rowed him into fish. He rowed me into fish.
You're good.
I guess next time we're gonna have to row you into fish.
Get better.
That's true. I'm gonna row them too.
Caroline and I caught a few small fish at lunch, and I think she actually caught one that kind of swam into my line, so I'll count that for both of us. And then we started rowing again. I think the heat and the overall exhaustion from the day before started to get to me, so I sort of took a back seat in the boat and let Caroline fish while Josh rowed, and she caught a few nice ones before we got to the pullout, which was awesome. I feel like I should clarify that my life isn't always this cool, but I happened to randomly pick this week to do this vlog, and it made me reflect and feel really lucky for the life that I've built in Colorado and for the life I get to live with my friends. And let me know if you want to see more styles of video like this one. I had a lot of fun making it.